This is a raft in the middle of nowhere of the ocean. Okay, not that long, but this raft. And I'm stuck on it. From what I can see, there's no food or trees at this current moment. So this is gonna be hard, and if I die, I literally lose everything. So your boy Swidge decided to try to survive on this raft. For a good old 100 days, let's see how it goes. So I woke up on a tiny raft in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the endless ocean. And no, it's not a vacation to Waterworld. It's me, Swidge, stranded. The only company I had so far was those polar bears on that chilly island. I really didn't want to die the first day in, so I decided not to pay them a visit quite yet. But there was a chest on the raft, which came to the rescue with some dirt. And little did I know, this dirt was huge. Probably more rare than diamonds. I got saplings and this music disc. I mean, I guess I could party out in the sea by myself. Oh, and there was a book and quill so I could record myself out in the water. First goal, getting some wood. But those polar bears are guarding it like it's their treasure chest. I made my way over to it, and what do I find? Cows! A villager named Heffel, who loves to trade ores and diamonds, and even an incomplete nether portal. What is going on here, guys? Back on the raft, I spotted a floating box underneath it. It was a surprise gift from the Minecraft Sea. And guess what? It had a list of nearby locations, which is great because I'm not trying to swim around the ocean for all the 100 days. It's nice I can go explore other things. But wait, there was definitely more on day one. There was an island, so I hopped in my boat. There I met Mr. Blue Sky. He was a colorful villager who trades dyes. He got some unusual requests, like wanting blue dye and charcoal for lapis lazuli. This village definitely was going to come in handy. When night came, I wanted to get to bed. Who knows what lies out in the sea? I gathered some wool from the sheep and made myself a cozy sleeping spot. It's like a mini sleepover with no one else invited, and I'm alone at sea. The next day, I explored even further, gathering dyes, sugarcane, and more dirt, and expanding out my little raft. I planted some crops, and I probably need some food, and I wrote back in my diary. I noticed there was something floating above the surface, and so I went down. I nearly drowned, but there was a little dome down below. Night was looking scary, I saw this drowned, and so I went to sleep. The following day, I found zombie piglins on a floating island. Like, who invited them to the party, and how did they even get here? Like, this is an ocean-only world. I guess there must be some lava around here, and if there was lava, I could definitely use it. So I could use stone, make cobblestone, and obsidian. So I hopped in my good old trusty boat and went on a little adventure to see if there are any other surprises waiting for me. Maybe the location book missed something. But after a while boating around, all I found was my good old pal, a lone chicken floating out in the sea. Like, how did you get here, man? Sunbathing on a boat trip? Who knows, man? Like, I don't know how a chicken got here. Being the hero that I am, I could not leave that chicken stranded like me. So I rescued it and brought it back to the raft. We're in this together now, buddy. What should we name him? Let's call him Chuck. So the plan was to get on top of that floating island. I decided to take it nice and slow. Let's slowly inching my way over there, block by block. First, I placed and broke 2 blocks of wool to move closer, then repeated the process over and over again until I was finally within reach. And what I found up there was kind of what I suspected. There was a little lava flow and another friendly villager. This one was all about green dye for some sand. Not a bad trade. But there was even more up there. I stumbled upon another chest filled with some pretty good loot. It had those precious obsidian blocks I needed for the portal frame. A flint and steel, and not 1, but 2 totems of undying. Yeah, that made me like a superhero status, so at this point I can't even die. Oh, and I got my hands on a couple more discs for my ever-growing playlist, because I don't know why this place just keeps giving me discs. On day 5 to 6, now that the lava was flowing, I could create a never-ending supply of stone down below. Talk about a mining operation. As I explored the island, I found a hidden box, and inside, guess what I discovered? Another music disc, obviously. Seriously, my jukebox is going to be rocking soon, and we're going to be jamming out to Minecraft music all day long, because everyone loves that. Now that I had a bunch of sugarcane, I had a lot of sugar and a lot of stone from the lava. I was ready to tackle on the trades with my buddy Heffel. Now the moment of truth arrived. I completed the portal frame on the cold island, and now it was time to take a peek at the nether. The portal led me to a bedrock box, which was super weird, and I could hear blazes somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but I started digging around. And well, my curiosity got the better of me as I dug a little to investigate, and yeah, the blaze came out of the hole, like literally out of nowhere. Luckily, I was able to take him out, but talk about a close call. Luckily, I was able to snag a blaze rod and get back to the overworld before more came for me. That was a little intense, but I'm not gonna let a blaze stop me on my adventure. There was so much more to explore and conquer in this crazy world. As the days went on, guys, I made my raft a little bit cozier. I also decided to tie up our buddy, Chuck. Maybe I'll get some eggs from him. A little chicken family on the raft. That'd be kind of cute, no? Unfortunately, I couldn't sleep because there was a drown just scratching away at my raft, and I didn't want to go down in the water. I was kind of scared. But you guys know your boy Swidge. Why take on one drown when we can take on a whole dome of mobs? And so I went down towards that glass dome, and well, luckily I had my totem of undying. Like, literally, thank goodness. I dove down and I made my way there. My air supply ran really thin and I started panicking. Yeah, so in my panic, I kind of used my totem, but I was able to break a hole into the dome, so I had an air pocket there. But there was a whole mob party in there that wanted to kill me, so I had to lure them out, and I carefully lit it up with torches. In the middle of all of it, I met a rather weird villager, Ahmed Gabir. I don't even know how to say his name. I met another villager. This guy was coexisting with all the mobs. I don't even know how and all the creepy crawlies. But he offered me some really weird trades, like gravel for dirt. That's actually a pretty good deal. Since I'm in the ocean, I guess gravel is everywhere, right? But hey, he had sugar and red dye to spare for some redstone dust. I kind of got claustrophobic down in that dome, so I decided to leave for my raft, and I had to dodge drowns left and right. And then the saddest thing happened. I noticed our boy Chuck. He was missing. He'd vanished. His lead had snapped. I don't know where he went, but I did see his remains in the ocean. One chicken and some feathers. Rest in peace, Chuck. But the show must go on. I decided to honor my chicken friend by preparing some roast chicken, because why not? It sounds kind of ironic, but it's a tribute, right? I'm hungry. I had to carry on Chuck's legacy, and so I kept pushing through. I knew I needed to be prepared for anything, so I decided to whip up a potion brewing stand using that one blaze rod I managed to get from the nether. I then realized I need blaze powder to actually use my brewing stand, so I have a brewing stand now, but I can't brew anything yet because I'm too scared to go get a blaze rod. But I'm always thinking ahead. That's the name of the game. But we've been out here for a while. I didn't think anybody was going to come and save me, so I decided to make a few improvements to the barge farm. As the captain of the ship, I had to make sure it was in tip-top shape, right? I needed to make some better food with better saturation, so meat in my diet. So I headed over to the cold island. There, I decided to round up all the cows for a little love session. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know, awkward, but you gotta do what you gotta do for good steak, right? Still heartbroken over the loss of my boy Chuck, I thought it was time to move on and embrace the circle of life. So I took one of the cows for myself, with all the cow parenting responsibilities that came with it. Yep, you guessed it. I built a cozy pen for my new calf, complete with hay and everything. I'll take good care of you, buddy. Trust me. The following day was no joke. I went back to the cold island to see my buddy Heffel and grab another cow for the farm. But guess what, dude? There was the skeleton who decided to play hide and seek with me. And well, he definitely found me. That guy shot me down to 1 heart. I was like, hey, buddy, that's not cool. Thankfully, actually, I didn't kill him. The sun came to the rescue and fried that skeleton like a marshmallow on a bonfire. I snatched his remains for some handy bone meal, though. With my new cow buddy in tow, I decided to try my luck again with the nether. I wanted to grab another blaze rod, you know, just to be all prepared and stuff. But those blazes were relentless. One fireball, I'm like, hot. And to add insult to injury, that blaze didn't even drop a single thing. Like, all that effort for nothing. And of course, I retreated again because I had no armor. I wasn't ready for this. I was not ready for combat, so I shifted my focus to farming. More sugar, more wood, the stone. Gotta keep that going. I went back to the floating island to get some more cobblestone, and I was welcomed back by a zombified hoglin. And well, he knocked me straight down. So I took his warning and left. Finally, the day had come. I went to my buddy Heffel. I had enough sugar and stone to score 6 pieces of iron ore from him. Yeah, I could finally get my gear stronger already. Just took a bunch of days. And for the first time while playing, it started to rain. I totally forgot there was nature out in the ocean. My guy, Mr. Blue Sky on the island, he seemed to love his little block of space. Like, he didn't even move from it. So I thought, hey, I'll just borrow some of his dirt, right? I mean, he's not really using it for anything else. So I took it for myself. Sharing is caring after all. And honestly, I don't even think he noticed. He's just chilling on his island like, hey, everything's cool. I'm good. With plenty of dirt and a bunch of saplings, it was time to get my green thumb ready. So I had a brilliant idea. Let's grow a huge, big jungle tree and have a forest on our raft. It was getting bigger. And well, I actually used all the flowers around me to use bone meal, and I used it on the crops, and I didn't have enough for my huge jungle tree. So that was kind of a fail. I didn't really know about the space requirements. It's okay, guys. You learn something new every day. I went to go visit my buddy Villager. There's so many villager names, so I'm just going to call him Villager. In his cozy glass dome on the sea floor. I needed some dirt to keep my raft nice and green. And let me tell you, getting down there is an adventure itself. I had to dig, and dig. I even found out the entire sea floor is made of gravel. Yeah, there's even a little bit more on this day, and I almost died while I was minding my own business. This drowned dude with a trident thought it was hilarious to try to take me out. Once again, I had my trusty totem of undying to help me stay alive. These guys are relentless, man. After my near-death experience part 2, I decided to chill out a bit and do some fishing. And guess what I caught? A saddle, which was actually really good. Now I know what you're thinking. What good is a saddle when there's no horses around or like land to ride them on? But you know what? It's a trophy to have in my collection. One of my goals was actually to make our raft huge and turn into a huge barge. And because my jungle tree hadn't grown yet, I realized I probably need to make some more space. So I moved them. It's always nice to have a little bit more wood in your community. And our boy Chuck is now not the only chicken out there. We had another sea chicken join the party. I had no idea where these little flapper guys were coming from, but it was nice to have them. And I've got not 1, not 2, but 3 fully grown cows and a little calf. So much more friends and company on the raft. I did not want to lose this chicken here, so I put him into a small pen, and hopefully he does not die on me. We just needed 1 more chicken, so I create a huge KFC on the water. But I had to get back to my main goal, which was iron, getting precious resources. So I traded like a boss with our good guy Heffel, trading sugar for iron. I wanted to get a full set and also a bunch of tools. I also wanted to trade a lot of sugarcane, so it was time to level up my sugarcane farm as well. I figured I had a lot of beetroot seeds, so I said, why not? Let's just grow them and actually use them in the recycling. I guess the composter to make a bunch of bone meal. Taking on 1 blaze was a piece of cake, but it's when a bunch of them actually team up on you. That's when it gets a little spicy. I was a little bit confident, but I only had 1 piece of armor. Later that day, when we got back on the raft, I continued farming my sugar and gathering food. I was working day and night, guys. I was getting really unsure whether or not my jungle sapling would ever grow into a proper tree, and then bam, next thing you know, it actually towered right over my whole entire thing. All the new wood, I expanded my animal pen, making sure the cows and my new sea chicken had plenty of space to roam and live their best lives. Boy, oh boy, when I thought things were going smoothly, a sneaky drowned with a trident decided to crash the party. Like, dude, really? And you know what's even worse? He didn't even drop that precious trident for me after I killed him. Rude, I know. Bro had worse manners than my brother. But hey, that's Minecraft, I guess. Today was all about farming. I mean, serious farming. First, I used my pickaxe to gather a bunch of stone. After that, I paid a visit to my good friend Ahmed, the underwater dwelling villager. Kind of a weird guy, but he had exactly what I needed. Gravel. I know, it's so weird to be excited about gravel, of all things, but it's for a good cause, man. You can trade it for dirt, and dirt is literally gold in this world, guys. Once I had enough dirt, I went over to my farm, started laying down the dirt grid like a pro gardener, and I had to give these little cluckers their own space, you know, as they'd be providing me nice chicken dinners and some feathers, so they deserved the royalty treatment. Chicken nuggies for the win, right? I had my sugarcane farm running like a well-oiled machine, and I was rolling in sweet, sweet sugarcane. It was time to treat myself to some fancy upgrades. I was able to turn it into a nice helmet and some pants. I'm telling you, I felt like a knight in shining armor. Well, I guess a knight in metal pants and metal helmet, but close enough, right? While I was there chilling, I started hearing some ribbits. Yes, a frog. It decided to join the aquatic adventure by hopping onto my raft. Honestly, the frogs were a really nice touch. The next day, I hit the ground running, paying a visit to my buddy Heffel. The whole island had turned into a zombie and creeper fiesta. But I wanted to pay my buddy Heffel a visit and get down to the nether, so I took him on. After I got to my boy Heffel, he gave me enough iron to complete my armor set.
Ooh, shiny.
And there I was, back in the nether, killing those blazes one by one. I was actually really careful not to get roasted like a marshmallow this time, but slow and steady wins the race. I managed to wall all the blazes off, and now I was able to explore around. It actually led me right to netherwort and soul sand. With these finds, I can now start my own netherwort farm. It's like having a mini jungle in the fiery depths of the nether. One could say my gardening skills have never been so hot. You get it, guys? The main reason I wanted to be in the nether and get all these netherworts was so I could make a bunch of water breathing potions, so I could explore the whole entire ocean. Now that I had potions of water breathing, I decided to check out the ominous black shadow near the raft, just as a thunderstorm began. This definitely felt like it was part of the main quest. I felt like an explorer, Indiana Jones of Minecraft. I swam down, deeper and deeper, like a brave scuba diver. And well, what did my efforts find me? Not really anything, to be completely honest. It was pretty bland down there. But then I realized the shadow was being casted from something way above me. So then I had a new goal. Eventually, I would tower myself all the way up to see what was up there. In the meantime, I tended to my farm. I had sugar, the cows, and the chickens to make the very first cookies on the raft. And they were delicious, a rare treat in the water world wasteland. Sure, they weren't really useful to my adventure, but like, it's little things in life, right guys? In the morning, I had cookies for breakfast because, well, who's gonna stop me? This is my world. Spent the rest of the day collecting stone, the afternoon slaughtering cows, and in the evening, collecting all the sugarcane now growing in my farm grid. As the grind continued, I wanted to modernize my raft, turning it into a floating paradise. It was time to bring on the big guns. Iron cauldrons, hoppers. I was trying to go full tech mode with automation, making it easier and fancier. And let me tell you about the great tree harvesting adventure. It was all about getting those saplings, hoping to grow a huge jungle tree on my raft. So with an axe in hand, I went to town on this huge tree to chop it down to get those saplings. But I knew I needed even more iron to get my hands on those shiny diamonds. Enter my boy Heffel, the quirky villager who had a thing for copper, gold, and all that jazz. So I traded like a pro, exchanging iron for copper, copper for gold, gold for diamonds. The trading game was on. Things were good, but then disaster struck. As I was trimming the tree remains, a sneaky block of leaves vanished under my feet, and I went tumbling down. I landed on a little lily pad, which was a decoration, but I actually took fall damage and died. Luckily, I had the totem of undying in my hands, otherwise I would have died forever. Yeah, so from that moment on, obviously I was cautious the whole time, but now I had to be extra cautious. These pesky little drowns were out for blood, and all those tall jungle trees were not to be underestimated. But it's your boy Switch, and how could a little accident like that dampen my spirit? So I continued chopping. Yes sir, you guys see it, another mighty jungle tree. After some bone meal action, boom, there it was, towering over my raft like a champ. At this point, I had so much wood, I didn't even know what to do with it. But now I could go on to my next expansion project. Literally, the whole time when I was building and in this world, the most annoying things, the drowns, were just, they kept poking me with their little sticks, like there was no tomorrow. And I had to be on high alert, dancing around the tridents, because I no longer had a totem of undying. Now that I had a little bit more iron, I was able to make some hoppers. That way I can make a fancy stone generator. I was getting tired of just mining the stone in the water. Honestly, this video feels like a straight farming simulator, but you know what, that's just part of the process. It was now time to level up our barge game. First thing was first, we needed more space. I've been using jungle trees mainly for the whole build, but I want to use something else, so I ended up using a little bit of spruce trees. Diamonds, baby. Oh yeah, I did it. After the epic trading game with Heffel, I finally had my shiny sparkly diamonds in my hand. It was actually such a grind. It's so weird being out here and you can't even go in a cave and mine diamonds. Like, you have to work for them. We were slowly getting closer to our water utopia. I was finally being rewarded for all the farming I'd done, and now I had a bunch of iron so I could make those hoppers. So now that we got our building foundation set and our stone generator going strong, it was time to go check out that mysterious shadow that was still bugging us. So I grabbed my gear and went up to the sky, stacking up. Honestly, I was so curious what was going on up there. And well, you guys can already tell by now, I have to trade a ton of stuff to get the things I want in this world, so it was going to be a grind. I also began building the frame for the mob grinder from the underside of the main platform, constantly dealing with drowns. And after doing so, I set about to start draining the water out of it. For this, I would need to borrow the rest of Ahmed's sponges. I took this opportunity to obtain some more precious dirt while I was down there. I started to segment the room, draining out the separate smaller areas before finally draining the last bit of water, and opening it up to make a large dark space in which various mobs could spawn. Honestly, I don't really know why I did it this way, but it took me a long time, but it actually ended up being very useful. After lots of time of digging and grinding and building out the room, the grinder was now deep enough so when mobs walked over it, they'd die. Now I had everything I needed, but I did not have the pickaxe, so I also had to grind for the pickaxe. Guys, I know, it's just so hard to get anything out here. After a long grind, I got 2 more diamonds, and I was able to make a pickaxe. And honestly, this was probably the luckiest moment of all of the gameplay, other than like not dying. I actually got silk touch on my pickaxe. The main plan and idea was actually to bring the grass block onto our raft. And with grass, I can now grow flowers on the raft. I know throughout this whole journey, I had not had a little hut or a house to actually go to. Though it was super time consuming, I just chopped a bunch of wood so we can expand our barge. But hey, it was worth it. So I decided to at least get the first floor finished. And when that was done, I decided to finally tower my way up to the huge thing in the sky. After running through a bunch of wooden stacks and ladders, I eventually made it to the top. The island was hollow, like a giant coconut with something hidden inside. And then I saw it. It was an end portal frame just chilling there. No stronghold. But there's the portal? So the mystery of the world kept on coming. I also booted off a chicken who thought it owned the place, so see you, bro.
Bye, have a great time.
And so another goal had been unlocked. I wanted to go see that ender dragon in this world. I didn't think it was possible. So, 1, I need to go find some endermen or find a way to spawn them in. And I need to go kill some more blazes. You guys like that cannonball? So the grind was on. I went to go chop in some trees and I wanted to build out a mob farm, but above the surface. I had a lot of wood, so I made a platform out of slabs, and away I worked. Whenever I saw an enderman, I'd kill him. Yeah, the platform was working pretty well, as you can see. I rushed to bed, and the next morning all the zombies chased me, so I ran to the water. I was scared. All I could hear was burning zombies the next day. But I had to get back to work. I continued working on the butcher floor. Luckily, I had a lot of wood saved up, so it was pretty easy. As you can tell, it is working well, and these skeletons gave me a very hard time. But I had so many more projects to go. When I was on top of this tree, I noticed there was a skeleton hiding in there. Endermen started to spawn in, so I killed them. And well, yeah, I did the smart thing and hid in the water. I don't have my totems anymore. I would attract a lot of endermen, but also all the other mobs in there. I had to be very careful. Yo, 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 yo! Take that. Take that. Excuse me, I just want this. Get away from me. You know what? You're dead. And I wanted a bunch more dirt, so I spent my time down getting gravel. And with this dirt here, I wanted to make a tree farm. As you can tell, I'm kind of cleaning up the whole raft right now. I kind of wanted it a bit more organized. Bro, the skeleton's a beast. Die. And so I cleared the farm by the main raft. There's a lot of endermen now. This is good. This is very good. Good and bad. Oh my god, it's actually so loud I can't even hear my own thoughts. Literally 3 more. These could be my 3. Come on, please drop. Yeah, the mob farm was working a little too well. But we were getting ender pearls so fast, I could not complain. And I wanted to make a base of operations. Obviously, we had one, but I wanted to make a huge house. Just in case someone flew by and wanted to come pick me up, you know? Yeah, I accidentally made a mistake and I made too many jungle trees, and so I had to spend the next couple days chopping down these trees. Damn, I can't believe I actually just planted 4 humongous trees. Should have just literally did 1. That's all I needed. I used the leaves and the wood for the next build. I had a lot of stone when I AFK'd over at the stone generator, so I had to make a really cool roof as well. I was actually super proud of this building here. While I was building the whole entire time, I could hear spiders and bats below me from the original mob spawner, so I went down and took care of it. I lit up the butcher floor because we weren't going to need mobs anymore. Alright, Blazes, here I come, doll. Oh, there's a polar bear in here. Oh, and a skeleton. Alright, bro. There's a frog in here, too. Okay. I'm literally overwhelmed. I said hi to some Blazes, and, well, I fought them very cautiously because there was a lot of them in a compact space. But on day 75, it was time. I was gonna go see the Ender Dragon. All this hard work and time I put in, it was time to go. It's been a while since I fought an Ender Dragon. Got my arrows, got some eggs, got my bucket of water. Let's do it. Oh my god, something that's not water, finally. What? You're kidding me. Wait, please tell me there's the Ender Dragon on the other end. Please tell me. Please tell me there's something on the other end. Elytras! What about the Ender Dragon? Okay, so it's literally just a box. I kind of should have expected that based on the nether, but I got 3 Elytras. That was really anticlimactic. I mean, I got wings now. Yeah, you guys are probably expecting a super cool Ender Dragon fight where I absolutely destroy him because I'm a beast, but that was the most anticlimactic thing I've ever done in Minecraft. I worked my butt off all the way there just to be stuck in a bedrock box. So on day 77, I actually went back and mined all the obsidian just to make sure there wasn't a hole or the Ender Dragon was around, but that was not the case. So when we got back, I continued clearing the original raft because I wanted to make more space and just make this place look a lot better. I wanted to focus on more building now. I was going for more like a ultra raft feel. I wanted to make it feel like I almost, took myself there on my boat rather than, got lost at sea and dropped off by however I got here. But that project required a lot of wood, and so I went to chopping and breaking and chopping and breaking. It was a long process, guys, of gathering wood, designing, thinking of ideas, but it was actually a lot of fun because I guess I was stuck in the middle of nowhere with my thoughts. I found a design online that I really enjoyed, and so I decided to do my own variation of it. So your boy got to work. And this chicken was doing 360s. That must be a reincarnation of Chuck, because he was going crazy. What do you guys think of the raft, guys? Let me know down in the comment section below, and what should we call it? This is easily one of my most proud ocean builds so far in raft/boats. I've never done anything like this. I think I'm gonna take more inspiration online and just do it because this actually turned out very, very well. But now that I had moved the crops and all the wheat and everything, it was time to make a new area for them. So I began working away. I wanted each area to have a section of different type of wheat, different type of crop. That way it would look really aesthetic. And I'd realized I haven't really used my house I built yet, so I put my bed on top because I gotta use it somehow. And, well, on day 90, I did something I should have done on day 1. Well, let's take a look for yourself, guys. SOS. I don't know if you guys can read that properly, but it's supposed to say SOS. I should have made that on day 1, and maybe within the next 10 days, somebody will come get me. I don't know. Or I'm just stuck here forever. Honestly, I was quite sad and taken back by the fact I wasn't able to fight the Ender Dragon or even fight anything in this whole entire 100 days. So I just really focused on building and organizing everything. And so I made this organization area by Heffel. That way I know how to upgrade into diamonds. My next project was actually to make a roof on top of the current animal barn we made. I wanted natural daylight to shine through, so I actually got rid of all the wood on top and I used leaves to fill it in. And well, I actually wanted this to be the chicken floor for my boy Chuck. So I actually gathered all the wool and I tried to make something that looked like an egg. And then I threw all the eggs I had in my possession. And well, this is how many chickens I got. On day 97, it was time to take the chickens to their new home. Look at those little chickens pop out of there, man. It's like the McDonald's deep fryer of chicken nuggets. Okay, too soon? My fault. On day 97, I noticed the past couple of days there was a llama just kind of getting yanked by the neck over by the house. And so I decided to make him a little platform. The wandering villager was not taking good care of him, so somebody had to. I decided I wanted to visit my boys one last time, so I took a selfie with each one of my boys, aka the villagers, my only friends out there, other than the animals, obviously. And well, you know, I said hi and bye. It's been a very interesting journey. I know I got stuck here in the middle of nowhere. Don't know how I got here, but at least I had the villagers to keep me company. And unfortunately, the Ender Dragon didn't want me. Spent the rest of the day just kind of taking in everything I'd done and hanging out with the chickens. Rest in peace, Chuck the Chicken, if you're still watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.